Hey guys, Legendary Grimlock here, and today we're going to be discussing the likes of Giratina. How powerful is he, his cosmology, everything. So let's begin here. So Giratina is noted as the strongest member of the creation trio and may actually be the only one that exists in his true form consistently. What's actually important about the creation trio in general is despite them having avatar forms and their true forms, they are confirmed to be multiversal singularities, meaning there's only one of them in existence. Now, a few Pokemon, in my opinion, do count as multiversal singularities, but that's probably for another video if I ever make it. But Giratina, Dialga, Palkia, and Arceus all count as multiversal singularity. Giratina also possesses some powerful moves, including the likes of, and the following obviously, Will-O-Wisp, which is an attack that actually deals element damage, which actually burns the opponent over time. This is due to Giratina's properties as both a dragon and a ghost type, which is actually a lethal combination here, considering you have the power of a dragon type and the mechanics of a ghost type, which I'll explain a little bit. He also has Aura Sphere, which is actually a very powerful, I think it's more of a, I guess you could say it's a psychic type move, or maybe even a fighting type. But again, this is actually pretty impressive. He's able to use Aura Sphere, which is actually a very devastating, actually a very devastating move. If that hits you, that's, in Giratina's case, that's a one-hit KO. All right. He also has the other things like Dragon Rage, Dragon Claw, Dragon Tail, possibly even, no, wait, nope, never mind. That's only a Rayquaza move. Never mind. I'm gonna say, yeah, he probably has Dragon Ascent, but oh wait, nah, he probably really doesn't. But he does have Dragon Breath here, and this is important here because any damage done to Giratina immediately gets reversed and transferred back onto his opponent, essentially healing him and clearing him of these damages across the board, right? Giratina is also the master and one of the only users of the Shadow Force. Now, the Shadow Force actually allows Giratina to bypass the durability of his opponent and allowing him to essentially just wail on them over and over and over again. So this means that any durability you have, for example, you put him against, I actually made this matchup anyway, Superboy Prime, right? Despite Superboy Prime's incredible durability and incredible resistance, this Shadow Force is going to simply bypass it and just wreck it. Okay, he's just gonna wreck and pretty much clean house every time here. Every time he uses Shadow Force here, it really just doesn't matter what your durability is. So now we're going to discuss the Distortion World. Now, the Distortion World permanently belongs to Giratina because it was banished there. However, Giratina made it its own. This means the Distortion World very possibly, and I'm actually going to say here, was a void. A full void. A multiverse covering void. And Giratina made the Distortion World, actually used his reality warping powers to create a mirror multiverse to stabilize the multiverse. You get what I mean? Meaning one can't exist without the other now. And the Distortion World is actually beyond both time and space, beyond Dialga and Palkia's realm. This means Giratina sits on a much higher plane of existence. Now, do remember that that time and space in Pokemon has been confirmed to be infinite in size. It's infinite in size, infinite in various things. This means the entire universe is infinite in size, and you have entities like the Latria, which are the aspects of basically will, like all forms of willpower. Hope, they embody hope, love, dreams in some sense. They ambitions, just straight up spirit in general. Then you have entities like Darkrai, which are the masters of the dream realm. Dreams are even confirmed to be infinite realities, or at least alternate infinite realities, right? And Darkrai is able to manipulate and is actually in full control over this plane of existence. And you have, the realms that also belong to the respective ones of life and death, Yveltal and Exerdius. Now you might say, Legendary, Why are you going on about this? Because remember, Giratina has to maintain each of these realms via, the distortion world. The distortion world is literally the opposite multiverse. Kind of, you could probably say like, oh, so like DC, a dark multiverse. In a sense, yes, except unlike the dark multiverse, it only needs one ruler and it's maintained by one powerful entity, Giratina himself. So, with that being said here, he basically maintains all these realms. But didn't you say Zygarde could hold it? Yes. Zygarde is meant to hold all these realms in place, meant to hold the entirety of the multiverse in place, which includes Dialga, Palkia, and Giratina's realms. But Giratina is kind of like the tailor to it. He's basically like the gardener of the multiverse. He basically fixes anything that goes on. However, he does it from his realm, which is a basically maintains that realm itself. All right. So basically, you have Giratina maintaining every universe, every reality, every dream, every aspect. And this also goes into the speed category because he's already there. This means Giratina has omnipresent speed, basically inaccessible to immeasurable, if not boundless amounts of speed here, simply due to the sheer fact that he's everywhere and anywhere all at the same time. This means that you can't speed blitz him. This means that you can't really harm him, especially if he turns intangible. And he's already a ghost as well, meaning he can actually turn into a further state of intangibility, much like Ben's Ghost Freak. All right. So basically, what you have here is a ghost dragon, basically a spiritual dragon, which can turn into another layer of intangible spirits. Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous. But he also packs a couple other things, like he's able to manipulate antimatter, which is strong enough to, hold Dialga and Palkia. Also, considering that he's able to use antimatter when antimatter comes into contact with regular matter, yeah, that doesn't go too well for a lot of regular Pokemon. Again, the creation trio is just built different. He's also one of the few Pokemon that can actually tank a direct attack from Arceus and still continue to fight. Now, yes, Arceus did not have all of his 12 plates. He actually had the 12 plates. And Giratina was the only one that would actually be able to not only take attacks from him, but to actually go toe-to-toe with him in a head-on battle. All right? There's also the sheer fact that Giratina's physical strength is not to be laughed at all. He manhandled several legendary Pokemon, including the Lake Trio, Dialga, Palkia, Darkrai, Regigigas, which is one of the physically stronger Pokemon out there. And, he can do a lot of other things. He can teleport. He can actually entrap your soul in the distortion world. He's immune to erasure, as Dialga and Palkia's AP pretty much erases you from time and space, or basically from existence itself. You guys get the point, right? Giratina can just erase you from reality, and, obviously, you won't exist in any form of reality as well. So this means if he actually decides to erase you from the distortion world, you won't exist in any form of reality ever. Yeah, I know that sounds pretty broken, doesn't it? Especially when you have to consider the sheer fact that Giratina he just doesn't play. The dude just really just could spawn wipe you. Oh, also he possesses telepathy. He's telepathically resistant. As a matter of fact, it's actually a bad idea for telepaths to even read Pokemon's mind. And I almost forgot to put this with the Rayquaza video as well. But reading a legendary Pokemon's mind, or at least a Singularity's mind, is actually so bad that telepaths are actually die. Yeah, in Pokemon. So telepaths actually die in Pokemon when they actually try to read a legendary Pokemon's mind. So essentially, it's like next way it's like virtually suicide just to do something like that. So again, if you say, oh well, what about stronger telepaths? Again, these are telepathic Pokemon themselves, which are able to basically They basically have cosmic levels of telepathy. Now imagine someone like Professor X or Martian Manhunter trying to read these guys' mind. They'd have a stroke and possibly get killed. Now, that's also not to mention that he's just virtually pretty much beyond their tier in general. Also, you can't really get your soul back unless he allows it. So there's no, oh, well, if I leave the distortion world, oh, yeah, you leave the distortion world and your soul is gone forever. You don't come back. Giratina is just, he's broken, all right? You got a reality warping, ailment dealing, further levels of intangibility going dragon, okay? And not only does he sit in the top, what is it? Definitely in the top, he's definitely top 10 strongest. I would definitely say he's the second strongest Pokemon in the multiverse. And only second to Arceus. So obviously, Universal, definitely boundless in my opinion. And that's going to conclude our video for today, you guys. Please comment down below, like, and subscribe and share to your friends. This is Legendary Grimlock, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.